Hello! It is time for another episode of the Daily Berg. Holy Spirit, what do you want to talk about today? I'm trying to hold the camera steady, but I just finished working out with my brother Cedric, and that was real good. It's kicking my butt because I'm just not in the best of shape. So we're working on that. Oh, guys. On a moment-to-moment basis, Holy Spirit's always ready to talk with you. He's always willing to discuss life with you and to hang out. And honestly, it's not too dissimilar from what I'm experiencing with working out. Not in the sense of, like, I've got to strain and work really hard at being connected to Holy Spirit, but in the sense that, like, the option's always there to go and, work my body out. I always have the option to step out into being more fit and being more intentional with my time in that regard. And it's a very similar thing with Holy Spirit. It's like the option's always there to talk and communicate. The option is always there to learn more about how to walk out your faith. And here I literally do mean walk out your faith, as in like out and about, learning to hear from Him and putting a little risk in the mix. It's like, there's this guy, Todd White, and I think he's amazing, and I love him dearly, even having only, barely been in the room with him once. He's just one of those guys. But he talks about, one of his worries for the American church is that we won't step out for Jesus most of the time just because we might look silly in terms of praying for healing or, watching the power of God potentially show up in somebody's life. Because the chance exists that maybe it doesn't work, we won't step out and do it. He's like, well, then what's going to happen when we're actually persecuted? So I'm not necessarily trying to motivate anything through a doom and gloom or through an expectation of destruction. But I think there's something telling. It's like, so if I will go and I will eat pizza, and not work out, I'm making a conscious decision to put value on food above value on my health. And we kind of make those same choices when it comes to listening to Papa. Not in the sense, again, I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. That's not my heart in the slightest. But we do have a responsibility to walk out life like Jesus. And if we're not willing to do that, we just got to be real about it. Better that you're hot or cold, but because you're lukewarm, I spew you from my mouth kind of thing. It's like, dude, it's better that you were on fire or you're not messing with it at all. And if you're not messing with it at all, that's okay. But then don't put His name on it. So, I don't know. That's going to sound really harsh to a lot of people, I bet. I'm not telling you you're not a believer. I'm saying if you're not going to live like Him, don't tell people that you are. And if you're not going to own what it looks like to be a believer, keep it to yourself. If you are going to own it, though, and I do think you have a responsibility to do so, make sure that what you're doing is actively pursuing and being a part of a relationship with the Father, because everything Jesus did was motivated by and came from a relationship with the Father in direct interaction with Holy Spirit. He didn't do anything that He didn't see His Father do. He didn't say anything He didn't hear His Father say. So when He's raising that kid from the dead who He's never met at His own funeral, God's doing that. Jesus is partnering with Him. When Jesus is multiplying food for the crowd that was hungry, they've been listening to Him for a few days, God's behind that. He's doing it. And Jesus is partnering with Him in it. So guys, all I'm saying is, like, even if it's just something small, you're buying the food for the people behind you. You're encouraging somebody that they matter in one way or another. That's huge. Go love people like Jesus. Receive God's love as well for yourselves, because that's where all of it has to come from. Like, we got to know that we're loved, or we don't have anything to give away, really. So, love you guys. Bless you. And we'll see you in the next video.